Hello!
Welcome.
That was loud. Welcome back
Yeah, this is another...
to the Showhippies Podcast.
Yep, this is a whole new thing.
We just tested the audio. Hopefully it's good. It should be good. If not, we have chat open.
We are drinking adult juice.
So if our conversation derails, that's why. I just figured I had to mention that because it might derail.
Yeah, it's gonna derail.
We have some topics today, like usual.
Yes, this time I'm gonna be honest. We did not.
Okay, listen. We had. Oh no! Stop. We had.
No, we're being honest.
We had an original plan, which was
What?
to do a hypothetical. We were gonna do. This is honest.
What kind of hypotheticals we have?
We were gonna just make a bunch of hypotheticals and go over them and go over the realism or whatever just discuss them basically.
Yes.
Turns out we went through a full week and it's hard to think of hypotheticals. It's not easy. So that episode is still on the back burner. We plan on doing it, right?
Yeah.
Eventually. We just have to actually think
Next week.
of hypothetical. Next week? You sure you want to make that claim?
We're doing it next week, and if not, I will
David
carry,
makes the claim. We are doing it next week.
And if not, I will carry next week at next week's episode.
You carry every episode. No, I'm just kidding.
I know my back is already starting to get sore.
Basically, we just couldn't think of shit, so we're not doing that. Instead we picked random topics pretty much the same day as we're doing this. Literally.
Zach fucked my ass at Uno.
Yeah, I destroyed David at Uno. That's why we're kind of a little late. We decided to indulge in some Uno. By the way, speaking of which,
we indulge in Uno.
just real quick, if you ever miss a podcast and you want to see podcasts, you can go over to youtube.com/showhippies, where you can watch VODs of the podcast. If you missed them, or maybe you just want to rewatch them, maybe you're at work, you're stocking shelves or something, and you want to listen to a podcast. I enjoy that. I enjoy listening.
Maybe you're jacking it.
Maybe you're jacking it. Maybe you want to listen to the boys while you're jacking it.
I mean, that's all right. We always need some boys to listen to while we jack.
Maybe. Anyway.
Look. I like to think we have very soothing voices.
We have okay voices, I think. I think your voice might be a little more soothing than mine.
Oh, well, thank you.
But
I appreciate that. So, we have a few topics we thought of last minute.
Yeah, these are basically last minute topics because our plan fell through.
Zach went on PC Gamers.
I went on PCGamer.com.
Find ideas.
I went on PCGamer.com and I found some. I literally just read the top articles and I was just like, we can make topics out of this.
I, however, was the first one to come up with something original.
Hey, we have good topics. They're not bad, actually.
They're not bad.
They're not bad. Do you want to start with the one that you? Well, do you want to start with the one that you picked? It's kind of nerdy.
Let's start with diversity in gaming.
Okay, so let's talk about diversity in gaming. David focused mostly on women in gaming, which I think is interesting. But there's all kinds of diversity in gaming.
Yes.
So why don't you start? Why don't you lead
Which
us?
game series do you think has the most kind of diversity for different types of people?
In terms of series?
In terms of series, in terms of one-off fucking game.
I think Overwatch did a decent job at including diversity, as much as people complain about it. We have female robots and shit. It's pretty cool. It's pretty dope. Tracer's gay. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was a good one. In terms of, I don't know, some companies are afraid of including diversity because of they have to make their games appropriate in China and stuff in their own countries. I just spilled alcohol all over myself.
Yeah, right. And diversity in China is a no-no.
Diversity in some countries is not looked proudly upon, so they have to sort of, I guess program or put elements of their games in the Atlas is a good example. I guess Japan isn't as inclusive, or at least from what I've heard. I don't know. I don't live there, but in Catherine, for example, I talked about this on stream before when I was playing SMT5.
Yeah.
In Catherine, for example, there are some endings that kind of hint at Erica being transsexual.
That was actually a spoiler that I was.
I've heard of it through the controversy. Apparently, it's not done in a very favorable light.
I mean, to be fair, they kind of hinted at it because remember, during the playthrough, we encountered a red-haired sheep who stood out from any other cast member, and we didn't recognize it at all. And plus, if you look at the flashback when they're all in high school, there's a red-haired dude that's the only logical explanation for Erica being there.
You pay attention to way more of the shit
Yeah,
than
that's
I do.
because I was paying attention to the story. So I mean, like,
I enjoyed Catherine for what it was. I actually legitimately, the reason I don't take offense to the things that are in that game is because I didn't notice that they were actually in them when we played them. They made like a joke about Erica and what's his name, Toby, like Toby wanting to sleep with Erica or something. And the other guys were like, "Oh, don't do that." I guess because she has like a penis. Or it's implied.
Nah, she's post-op, from what I understand.
Okay, well then I don't know. I haven't seen the endings or whatever. They've implied that it was like a thing he shouldn't do, basically, like seen in a negative light. I didn't get that implication at first. I thought they were hinting at the fact that she had like an STD or something.
Oh,
That's
no.
what my thought was.
I mean, it's interesting. That does kind of make sense because I think at one point they were actually dating. But Erica was not truly, into it, so she's being that kind of counts the whole unfaithful vibe.
Yeah.
That's why Erica had to go through all that. Because you mentioned, even when Erica was talking, she mentioned she also started having nightmares. And that's where Yumi started theorizing that it's also happening to women.
No, well, oh yeah, but only men could have nightmares, so maybe that's where the trans thing comes in.
And then there's also other things. I think it's a clever little thing, thing in there.
Apparently they didn't show it in a very favorable. I haven't seen the ending, so I don't know. But basically, like, I'm just using Atlas as an example. There are companies that are afraid to sort of shoot out beyond that bounds, even though it would look more favorable for them, because it's very profitable, I would say, to be, how do you say it, progressive in media. I would say so. I think it's a good thing overall. I think if companies are incentivized to be more progressive, we get what we want. We see more, diversity in gaming. It's pretty good. Some companies just don't want to make the switch, it seems, though.
What do you think? How do you feel about communities like pushing diversity where there doesn't need to be any, and where
it depends.
Like, this doesn't involve gaming, but I remember there was one thing where a whole bunch of people were saying that, like, Danny from Danny Phantom was trans because they used the evidence that the clone of Danny that Vlad made was a chick. And clones imply, direct, copy.
Yeah.
It has sound argument, but it's like, I mean, how do you feel about it being pushed on areas where it doesn't really feel like it needs to be? And do you feel like if you're pushing, because there's not enough diversity?
I think if you're pushing for general diversity in gaming, I think that's fine. If you're trying to impose on somebody's vision in the game, like maybe somebody wants to make a game with a straight protagonist and this and that, and you're kind of imposing on that, that's a little weird. But I think that's the only situation where it's like, okay, that's like, there's no need for that. This artist clearly has a vision for his work. They're going, or his or her work, and they're going for it. I don't think there's a reason to enforce that type of thing on, or impose that type of thing on that creator.
Do you think it's an issue that the reason why that might stem from is the fact that there's not enough diversity in gaming and in like media in general?
I don't think it should be forced. I understand where it comes from. That's why I'm like sympathetic to a lot of people like that. But
also, could you grab me an Angry Orchard, please?
Oh boy, here we go. Yes, I can, David. You're very welcome, by the way. Well, hang on a second. You want a cold one?
Yeah, man.
Popping out the cold ones with the boys.
Yeah, it's pop. Yep.
Also, let us know if audio is good. We checked it, but I haven't listened to the stream.
Yeah,
so
he didn't actually. We didn't even listen back to the playback. We recorded it and we didn't even listen. See, I told you.
Do you want to listen to the playback?
No, it's fine. We're already
I'm listening to it. It's fine. It sounds
fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
It sounds perfectly fine.
Oh, let's check the audio, David. We gotta hurry.
It's fine.
We gotta check the audio. Right.
You can sit here and mock me all you want. Okay, what picture was I on?
You're on that one.
There we go. We're good.
Window?
Yes, I'm a little tipsy. I'm not gonna lie. Basically, my stance is, I think it's. I understand why they want more diversity in gaming, but they also have to understand that games in general even though the gaming industry is fucked, it's not just like for some directors and stuff, it's not just like a corporal project or whatever. Sometimes it's art. They want to tell a story. They want to do this stuff. They have ideas for games. Nintendo's notably like they're very particular about how they want to push and present their games basically. If they have a vision for that, I don't think you should be forced to change that in order to include more diversity. If you can include more diversity in a way that also benefits your story, I think that's always good. You should probably push to do that. But yeah, I don't know. That's my stance on it. I think more diversity in gaming is important, or in general, in media in general. But it just depends. If you're forced to do it, it feels kind of out of the wrong place, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But I don't know.
You know what's something I've noticed in realms of diversity?
Well, what's
I
up?
have now I just might not watch like certain types of like anime, but from what I've seen of anime, like there is like I can name a few off the top of my head. There's actually not a lot of colored anime
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
I can name some like Simon from Durarara is a Russian black man who sells a sushi shop and has a very like enigmatic and kind of like playful voice, but is also kind of a badass. I think there's also like this fucking kind of mixed samurai guy.
Uh-huh.
I don't know his name. I've seen him floating around, but I don't know why. Because you can make it's the art you can make the art style kind of work with that.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I get it that in Asia and in Japan, there's not a lot of
Yeah.
Africans of different
I guess
cultures.
yeah, I guess the question is how much is it linked to that or how much is it cuz I could see that being a genuinely like problem. Like a lot of people in Japan don't get out of Japan that often.
That's true.
In terms of like statistics and stuff. So maybe writers and stuff just don't really consider those as part of the characters because they don't see those types of people as much. Or
It's kind of
maybe they
it's
just
kind
don't
of
care
odd.
to.
It's kind of odd because Code Geass is a game that mostly takes place of a lot of
A
European. It's my bad. It's an anime that takes place a lot of like European like characters, right?
Yeah.
The only real like culturally diverse people that I've seen really is like in some like a few Indian characters and like brief Middle Eastern characters who were just introduced to be killed off.
Interesting.
I don't really recall remembering any kind of like prominent like colored anime character in that. Not even like some of the best anime I've seen of all time. And that's like that's not really an issue with the storytelling. It's just
Well,
I wonder why that choice is being made, especially.
well, the setting might be something to consider as well, right? Like how many animes take place in just Japan? Like a lot of them do, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
maybe
Well,
yeah, I don't know.
here's the thing. Like,
Not that there's not black people in Japan. I'm just saying,
specifically, like what I'm saying with like Code Geass, like it takes place on like a global kind of stage.
Yeah.
Like the main character isn't Japanese; he's European.
Yeah.
And then there's Full Metal Alchemist, which solely takes place in Europe.
Yeah. Well, oh, really? Full Metal Alchemist
There
takes place in
there
Europe.
are some mixed characters in it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Most characters, like the majority of the characters in Full Metal Alchemist are European.
I've never watched some of the biggest animes. I've never seen Full Metal Alchemist. I've never seen Cowboy Bebop.
Some of them are really good. I would I'm never gonna touch one.
I've watched
One Piece.
a little bit of Death Note, but not enough to. Well, here's a question. I want to get back into watching anime. What animes would you recommend?
I would
me? This
say
is off topic.
give Death Note another try. And I would
It's not that I didn't like it. I just didn't have the time to finish it. Basically, I have the
say-
time now.
I would say also give Code
Or a little
Geass
bit of
another
it.
try. I know you kind of joke like some of the characters like the Frogman.
Yeah.
It's just that the world building and storytelling that they have it's not like what most people think of it when they see anime, when they see like Dragon Ball, when there's a whole bunch of big fights and like a lot of screaming.
Yeah.
Death Note is more about philosophy.
Yeah,
And,
that's
like,
I see really like I I don't know if I should say this. It gives a bit of away about me that I don't know how much I want to put out there, but Well, I'll say it. I watch a streamer. I think we both watch him. His name is Destiny.
Yes.
He quotes Death Note like all the time.
Yeah, a lot of Death Note is
And talks about how like good the writing is because of how like human they feel, or like smart they feel, but also human. If that makes any sense.
Code Geass also tackles philosophy, but it also gives you a character of kind of like relatable goals.
Yeah.
Because the main character's driving motivation is to make the world a better place for his crippled blind sister.
Damn. Yeah, so I these are some of the big ones I've heard. I've heard Death Note, finished Death Note. I plan on doing that. Code Geass I've heard. I've heard Overlord was really good from my own
Oh
chat.
yeah, overall understanding of Overlord. Overlord is pretty good. I have not finished it, but Overlord is good. What ones would I recommend? I have not really tackled Full Metal Alchemist, but I do know they also tackle
My
more.
sister-in-law loves Full Metal Alchemist. She's crazy about it. She recommended it to me, but I've never watched it.
What else?
I want to watch Demon Slayer. I want to know what all the hype is about.
I personally haven't seen it. I couldn't tell you.
I've heard it was overrated. I've heard it was actually good. I've heard it was okay. Like, I've heard so many things about it, and I want to know for myself, like, is it actually good or not? Because it's massive. Like, not just in Japan, but in the U.S. It is huge. Everybody's talking about it.
I just don't know much about it.
It's 5 out of 10. LMAO only gets attention for triggering. Well, I don't know. See, I've heard that, but I've also heard it's really good, and like the animation is really good and stuff. So I don't know. I want to check it out, I think. But if I'm not interested, I'll stop watching it.
There's also the one that you indirectly recommended to me.
What?
The Devil's a Part-Timer.
Oh, that one I've grown out of animes like that. But yeah. Rope scene triggers all. Okay, I'm gonna take the O and turn that into an A. I think I know what you're saying.
Oh shit!
What? That's in Demon Slayer? That's
oh shit! Really?
interesting.
Did they? Wow! All right.
I've heard family members like really like that show and stuff. That's strange for a family audience.
Let me fair, family audiences also like Game of Thrones.
Oh, that's true.
And Game of Thrones
has actual live fucking in there.
Not even just that. Like, I think Game of Thrones also I recommend to you just because the fucking like, at least until like the last season, it's very fucking good.
Really?
Dude, one of the this is a slight spoiler, right? One of the characters.
Well, hold on, spoiler alert. Just so if you haven't seen Game of Thrones,
spoiler. They're one of the main character's daughters, right? Gets burned alive. And the little girl actress fucking kills it.
Really?
Like portrays it like the raw emotion. Like it's very well done writing.
Hey,
and
this is
very good.
This is a bad time to cut this off, but I really, really have to piss. I really have to piss.
It's fine, you're drinking.
I just went pee, but I have to piss so badly. I'll be right back. I won't be long.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to think of another fucking like anime I think you might like.
Yeah, we'll continue this conversation when I get back. I won't be long. Hang on 1 second. Sorry, everybody.
Fuck. Anime. See, my top kind of anime would be shit like Code Geass and Death Note. I mean, those are two like the most kind of iconic next to Dragon Ball Z. I mean, come on, I'm not really gonna recommend him Dragon Ball Z. That's just it's kind of like recommending someone Bleach. There's just too fucking much of Bleach to fucking even really get into it at this point. I want to. I want to because my brother really likes it, but it's like fuck. Yeah, I tried getting into ReZero when I was like back in like what fucking 2017. I know it's good. I was just starting to get into like isekai like that.
I'm back, baby.
Alright. Golf recommended ReZero.
ReZero? Was that with Ram and Rim? I've heard of them.
Yeah,
I've seen some things about them.
I started watching it like in 2017.
Isn't that an isekai?
Yes, it is. But I think it's like one that goes horribly wrong for the main character in every single way.
I'm interested.
Which I kind of like that stuff. There's also Sword Art Online, but if you're gonna watch Sword Art
Online, I've heard some.
If you're gonna watch that,
things about
then I'd recommend Sword Art Online Abridged, which just has better internet humor culture in it.
You're recommending the abridged over the actual?
Yeah,
anime?
because the abridged is actually better in my opinion.
Really, you think so?
It keeps the same kind of storytelling. It keeps the story intact, but it just gets internet humor and like the kind of shit that goes on the internet.
You think I'd like it more, probably?
I think you would like it more or find it funnier, and would the humor would be enough to keep you attracted to the actual story. It's a nice balance.
Yeah, the first season is good, but after that, it's practically a satire of itself. Interesting. What was that the new one that was like a manga for a while, but it's been adapted into it was like the first isekai or something, or one of the first. Fuck, what was it called? I don't remember, but everybody said that's good. I should check that out. What's it about? Well. I don't know.
Are you talking about Record of Ragnarok?
No, it was like a guy who had like problems with his dad or something, or like family issues, and then it goes into like isekai world or something, and I don't remember what it's called. It was like one of the first or not the first, but one of the first isekais, but I don't remember what it's called. Fuck, it's on the tip of my tongue. But I'm too drunk to remember, so fuck it. I'll check that out. Is he reborn as a baby? Possibly. I don't know. I don't know much about the plot. I just know the name is like on the tip of my tongue. But people have told me to check that one out as well. Maybe I will.
Trying to watch Fate. Get into the Fate series.
I've heard Fate is very complicated.
From what I mean, I like the idea of just famous figures fucking getting the chance to fight each other. I know they're never gonna show it, but the idea of Robert E. Lee duking it out with Napoleon is a very interesting idea.
I'm down for that. Did they show that?
I don't think they do that. They do other shit like that. I think Leonidas appears in one of them.
I love history.
Arthur,
so maybe this is up my alley.
King Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
Other characters and how it works. It's so how the whole like servant system works is so like diverse that someone could get Jesus or they could get Adolf Hitler as someone to help them.
Fuck, I have to Google this.
There's also Record of Ragnarok's also good in my opinion. It's essentially just humanity's greatest warriors versus the gods in a tournament.
I looked up first isekai and Spirited Away came up. What the fuck?
Spirited Away is an isekai?
Top 10 isekai. Okay, this should probably tell me the name. I'll know by this. Hang on. Keep talking.
Battle Girls Time Paradox.
Oh my!
Okay.
Battle Girls Time Paradox.
That's worth
where
checking.
No boys are allowed.
That's worth checking out.
I might write that down on my list. Oh my! A Familiar Zero, isekai about an outcast. Kiba. Marchin' Awakens, King from Now On. Hack/Sign. Come on, it's got to be number 1, right? The 12 Kingdoms of Fantasy. Fuck, I don't know. I don't remember what it's called. It has a specific name to it that I would remember if I heard it, but fucking God only knows.
Like, I'm trying to think because it's very hard to find anime that you put on the pedestal like Definitely Code Geass in my opinion. Just because there's so much like
I don't mind an anime if there's a little bit of anime bullshit, you know what I mean? Like if there's like the anime stereotypes, I'm fine with that. As long as it has some uniqueness to it.
Record of Ragnarok, if you're interested in just historical figures duking it out with gods, very, very interesting series.
Shit.
they already have like lists of which figures are gonna fight who.
Yeah.
And the last episode, they're working on the next season. It's a very interesting concept and a very interesting matchup that no one ever really thought about until then.
Oh shit! We got matchups. This is
Jack
my thing.
the Ripper versus Hercules. Jack the Ripper representing all of humanity in the tournament for humanity's survival versus Hercules, the demigod hero. That's just a very interesting kind of duality there. Also, Leonidas versus Odin, which I'm very hyped for that.
I love history. I'd love to see. I've heard Fate intertwines history a bit. Maybe I'll check that out. But you said what? Ragnarok? What?
Record of Ragnarok.
Record of Ragnarok. Okay, I think I'll look at that as well.
There's also Drifters, which Drifters is made by the same guy who made Hellsing.
I think the more I look into more and more animes, I'm starting to see that they actually don't have like too many seasons for the most part, unless you're talking about like fucking One Piece or something.
Or like the old ones like Dragon Ball, One Piece.
I want to get into Dragon Ball. I really want to watch it. I watched a little bit of it on Nicktoons when I was a kid, but I never I could never find a place to watch it for one, and I don't know where to start for another.
If you want the full story and the experience of watching a character grow from a child into being a being that rivals gods, I'd start with like the original Dragon Ball series. It's a bit of a comedy, like a bit of like a martial arts kind of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't really get into the whole alien shit until
Z.
Mm-hmm. But even Z does have some funny moments.
Yeah. Must burn out around 1 or 2 seasons besides big 3 types. OG Dragon Ball is good, very silly, and lighthearted mostly. I think I would enjoy that.
Dragon Ball Z kind of like...
I think I'd like Z too. I don't know. I like lighthearted stuff too, but... Yeah, Z... I think Z could get complicated, but I think I'd still like it if I could keep up.
Once we understand the story, it's not really that difficult. It's a linear kind of story.
And Z has an ending, right? It's not like continuous.
After Z, there's Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball GT. You can choose either path.
What do you mean? Like they're different timelines?
Not really. Dragon Ball GT was made originally like way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon Ball Super is a different kind of retcon GT, like the entirety of GT, and in its own kind of path. GT has some iconic things from Dragon Ball in it, but it also, in my opinion, is just kind of silly. And Dragon Ball Super kind of like continues the story, but then it starts getting a bit more complicated because gods start getting introduced.
Yeah. Basically old and new versions pretty much. I think I would want to start with the original Dragon Ball. Also, I'm getting very drunk. I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting really fucking drunk. I'm like moving in my seat and I feel like I'm about to fall over. I'm surprised I can still have normal conversations. I want to get invested into an anime again. I think it's been a while since I've actually been able to like sit down and actually watch something through and through, you know? I said before that the last anime I watched was Konosuba. And that's kind of like a meme show. Well, not like a meme show, but it's like it's a comedy pretty much. I wouldn't mind getting into something more like serious as well, I guess. Is what I'm trying to say. That I can get invested in and, you know, enjoy the characters and the plot and, you know, all the things that come with it. So
you like if you like your whole murder mystery stuff, right?
Yeah.
You'll love Death Note. You'll absolutely love it because it takes that shit into account.
I think I'd like Death Note too. I just stopped watching it because again I didn't have much time at the time when I started it. But I think I could watch it through and through again. I probably want to start from the beginning.
Code Geass it's very, very similar to Death Note, but it takes a different kind of path. The two main characters have very different personalities, but how they would handle things.
Yeah.
And it's
I like stuff like that though.
It's a lot about philosophy, but there's also a lot about like how the world world works.
Yeah.
With Death Note, you're mainly focused on light. And this also goes for Code Geass, but you also see more human moments in Code Geass. Like, there's some very silly episodes which are just kind of fucking goofy, but it shows a kind of like human side to things, which most anime just kind of, you know, glosses over for haha. She's a big titty 1,000-year-old goddess, and she looks like a little short stack girl.
Oh boy. Hey, I don't mind enemies like that.
I don't either. It's just
I've been told My Hero Academia is just waifu like wars or some shit. I don't mind waifu wars. It's just gotta be waifu wars with good waifus and good. It's gotta have a little bit of good plot mixed in, you know.
My Hero Academia, I do not see that correlation at all.
What, you think My Hero Academia? What's your thoughts on My Hero Academia?
I saw 4 episodes. I still need to continue it.
Uh-huh.
It is very interesting, mostly because it takes a spin on, like, in a world where everyone has superpowers, the main character just starts out with no powers.
Yeah. Oh, that's
cool. And then his hero, who is the greatest hero, bestows him his power.
Yeah.
I mean, like...
Basically, I've been told by season 2 or season 3, it just starts to slow down, and that's why people don't like it. Or that's why people get bored with it and they stop watching.
Durara is also, in my opinion, very good, but it is very slow to get into. Like shit picks up, like, maybe 3 or 4 episodes in.
Uh-huh.
But once when shit picks up, once when shit starts happening. Like some of the characters you get introduced to, you are like glued to. That I showed you a scene from that. Remember the guy got punched out of his fucking clothes?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you've talked about Durara a lot. I think that's one I'm interested in checking out. I think what I'm gonna start with is fuck, I don't know. What would you recommend I start with out of everything you recommended me?
My first anime that I ever watched all the way through was Death Note.
You think I should start with Death Note?
If I want to give you my
I've heard that Death Note is the anime for people that don't like anime, which I'm not necessarily that person, but like I've heard anybody can get into Death Note.
If you're getting into anime, you want to start with Death Note. And if you want something similar to Death Note when you're finished with Death Note, I'd recommend Code Geass. Because in my opinion, those are like the pinnacle of writing, the pinnacle of storytelling.
Here's a question. Unrelated, well, not necessarily, but what are some of your guilty pleasures in media? Not just like anime, but anything in general. Music, like TV shows, anime, whatever. But what are some things that like most people probably wouldn't like or maybe would judge you for, but you still like anyway? I guess. Can you think of any? Because I have some.
I'm trying to think of a good one to start with. Let's start with something with music. I love fucking like. I love kind of like, I don't know how to put it. I like punk.
You like punk music?
I like punk rock.
You think that's like, would you say it's guilty pleasure? Because I unironically like punk.
It's kind of a guilty pleasure because not that many people like that nowadays, you know. Punk's kind of gone out of fashion a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean more so something that you would maybe be embarrassed about revealing, I guess. To like your friends or something that you feel like they would judge you for.
That I feel like you judged for.
Stuff that's not like the norm, but not the norm, and also you would get maybe made fun of for by some people. Because I have an anime and a manga series that
adult
I feel that
content of the hypno kind.
Of the what? Oh boy.
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't getting that far into it, but interesting.
Like I. Well, I mean that's like the biggest extreme kind of guilty.
Holy shit! That went from 0 to 100 real quick. I wasn't even talking about adult content, but interesting.
I mean
mine is watching children fail. Children fall or children fail? What does that say? Fall or fail? I'm too drunk.
I can't see either.
Children fall. Gotcha.
Alright,
Yeah, but that's just funny to me. I don't feel like people would judge you for that.
I like Nickelback music.
Okay.
I unironically think Nickelback is actually a good band, and I'm tired of pretending that they're not.
I like some Nickelback songs.
They make some banger songs.
I won't lie. I like some Nickelback songs. I think some Nickelback songs are okay.
All right.
I won't lie.
I'm tired of people giving shit for fucking like Nickelback for no reason.
Nickelback is
Just 'cause
okay.
it's
I don't
funny to
think it's
meme on
amazing, but they're okay. I love ICP, but our community is Doggy Wank. What is ICP? Do you know?
I don't think I know.
Could you elaborate on that?
I don't
ICP?
I don't know what ICP is.
I think my guilty pleasures are
Well, fair,
Insane Clown Pot. Gotcha. I know what
To
you
be
mean now.
fair, I am a furry.
Yeah, well, that's not something you hide though.
Yeah, of course.
Is that something you're embarrassed about? I'm curious. Because I don't care what.
A little bit. It was for a while.
Yeah.
Just because it's like because people are like, oh, furries, they like to fuck animals, and it's like I don't want to be accused of that shit. I don't have time for that. But now it's like, you know what? Whatever. People if people accuse me of that, then they accuse me.
I think there's a distinction. If you like anthropomorphic animal porn, then I think you're different than someone who just wants to fuck animals. I can see that distinction at least.
Right. I mean, like.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think, because for a while I was like, man, putting David on the podcast, like in that profile picture, you looked at me really sharp there. You were like, what?
Oh, well,
I meant putting your profile picture up there on the podcast might drive people away. But then I thought, like, who cares? I don't want to hide who you truly are if that's something you want to put out to the public. I think that's valuable.
I mean, that's not even one of the main ones I wanted to use. I just didn't want to fucking take time to crop something.
I think
I just threw that up there.
I think I should represent you in the best way that you want to be represented. And I think that even if people have a problem with that, then the podcast is, maybe they don't watch it.
I like the fan music that the Dream SMP community has made.
Oh, no.
The music.
The fact is,
unironically,
I can't stop sucking on his fat dick.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like unironically,
yeah.
Specifically stuff around Technoblade, like "Woe to the People of Order." It bops hard.
Furries are like S tier fandom. Cool. I haven't been part of the furry fandom, but I don't judge them as much as I would say I used to.
All right.
Don't. I know what you're thinking of. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Don't bring it up. Zach, don't hate me for this, but you sound like Dream. Do I really? Do I have a similar voice to Dream? I haven't listened to Dream
I'll
much.
be honest with you. I have never seen a single Dream video once, and I could not discernify Dream at all.
Bring it up, poggers. You can bring it up if you want. But I want to be clear. I do not represent the opinions I've had necessarily in my past, okay? I'll just say it. I'll just say that. You can bring it whatever you want, okay?
Yeah,
this is
of
a
course.
free-reign
Like,
podcast.
I'm not gonna. I mean, that's fine. I mean, like I don't really care that.
Look, I thought furries were cringy, okay?
I used to argue for eugenics.
I don't really care anymore.
I used to think that eugenics was a good way to handle society, and I argued for it. All right, my opinion has changed drastically from when I was a kid.
We learn, we live and we learn, people. We live and we learn. The things that we say right now could be different drastically in like a year. Who knows? Fuck kids, but don't fuck kids. How about just don't fuck kids?
Yeah. How about no?
Maybe you shouldn't fuck kids. I think that's a little different.
You know what? Here's an interesting topic.
What's up?
With that.
What's up? Oh no, I know what you're gonna bring up. I don't know if I want to do this.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to do this.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm gonna.
Let me mute for a second. Hang on. Bear with us, people.
Hold on. So more guilty pleasures, right?
More guilty pleasure. I'll talk about mine. I like a show. I like a manga. Oh, now I have made Megalovania music playing in the void thanks to Fighting Sands 50 more times. Don't worry, that's coming. David is going to try his hand. Oh no, David's bringing out the manga books himself. I like some girly manga. Okay. I want to go over that a bit. These are some of my guilty pleasures. Now, I'm drunk. You may never get me to talk about this ever again. Okay, this is your advantage. This is your point. Okay, this is where you push. Don't read my books.
Come on, man. You don't care. I'm interested.
I don't care really. Did you see my post on? I did. I meant to respond, but I fell asleep. I looked on my phone and I fell asleep. I saw you beat Sans. Yeah. Impressive. Gives me hope. I think I can do it. With David's help. We're gonna try later.
Fuck, this is good art.
It is good art.
It's like really fucking good art.
On guilty pleasures, I like an anime and I like a manga that I think is pretty girly. It's called Love is War. I'm sure it's been heard. I'm sure anyone who's watched anime has heard of this before.
I actually have never heard of Love is War.
You've never heard of Love is War?
No, I haven't. I really haven't.
That's not girly, silly. It's a little girly. I think most people would think it's a little girly. I like it a lot. I think it's really
I
really
unironically like Lucky Star.
I don't know what I know what Lucky Star is. I haven't seen it though.
I unironically like that.
There's a
anime.
TF2 YouTuber I watched that really likes Lucky Star.
And the theme song bops.
I like Love is War a lot. I like some girly animes. I like romance animes. I think they're fun to follow, and I think they're interesting. The dynamics between characters and stuff,
Yeah.
I would say that's a guilty pleasure of mine. Most people, I think my friends would make fun of me for that, but I enjoy it.
I'm not gonna make fun of you for it.
You're not gonna make fun of me for it, but you're one of my more understanding friends.
Just because like this be like the ice chip to the barrel to the iceberg I'm in.
Do you guys want to hear a revelation?
What's that?
I have to pee once again. I'm not kidding.
This man's weak bladder.
I have a very small bladder, and I don't want to hold it and be uncomfortable. I'll be right back. Listen, if you want to watch the unboring version of this podcast, all of this pee break stuff will be cut out on showhippies.com youtube.com/showhippies.
You're gonna cut out all this?
I'm gonna cut out the pee break, sure, unless you have something interesting to say.
I mean, I'm probably gonna talk while you're
talk.
I'm not gonna be
talk,
silent.
and then I won't have to cut it out. I'm gonna pee. I'll be right back.
All right.
I'm sorry. I have a small bladder and I'm drinking a lot.
So other guilty pleasures that I have. Well, I mean, I really can't say I have any guilty pleasures like something as simple as like a girly manga. I mean, fuck. I really, really like games. I like playing as females in games. And I know that's a very odd thing to be embarrassed about, but it's like, I feel like people would make fun of me for that.
It's nothing like a crystal clear piss,
Yeah, I heard that, boy.
You heard it? Oh no, maybe it picked up on the mic.
Boy, were you frying some chicken in there?
No.
You pissed loud.
Alright, what did you talk about while I was gone? More guilty pleasures?
I have another guilty pleasure. I like playing as females in games.
That's not a guilty pleasure. I enjoy the same thing, but I'm not ashamed of it.
Yeah, but I like it for different reasons than you.
Oh no, why?
Not sexual reasons.
Well, what are your reasons?
Personal reasons.
Well, I don't care. What are your reasons?
Well, for one, it's no secret. I've talked about this before. I am bi-gendered. It's not really a secret. It's just that most people, I feel like, will be like, you're playing a chick?
No, I think that, okay, first of all, I think that thought is becoming more and more outdated. I will almost, if there's a female option in a game, and it's a cute girl, I'm always gonna pick that girl. I'm never gonna pick the dude. It's just the way it is. I don't want to play as like some like muscular dude like fending off a nation of, I don't know, fucking zombies or some shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't identify with the people I play as in games, so it doesn't. I don't know. That's how I view it. I don't think that's a guilty pleasure. I think you could
I'm
say that
saying
out loud.
games where you can make your character, you know?
Yeah, if you can make your character in a game, I still would probably... It depends on what game. If it's like Skyrim, I'm probably just going to play as a dude. I don't care. Mostly the 15-year-old cliche anime boy type. That is lame. True. Agreed. I think in any game, though, I just don't... I would rather play as a girl for some reason. Would you agree?
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
What are some other good pleasures you have?
Guilty pleasures that I have?
Yeah. Help me think of some, because I know I have some more. My brain is not functioning fully right now.
Other guilty pleasures that I have. I'm trying to think of like music and media and stuff I indulge in that most people would think is embarrassing or something. I don't know. I think that's the biggest thing is like certain animes I watch. I like some girly animes. I like girly manga sometimes. Or what some people would consider, a lot of people would consider to be girly like manga and anime. Other than that, I don't really know. I'm not like super conscious of the things that maybe I should be embarrassed about until people start making fun of me for them. And then I'm like, okay, well, fuck.
I unironically love cooking shows on YouTube, and you know this.
That's a guilty pleasure, you think?
Are
you ashamed of liking cooking shows?
Not really. I love cooking.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with cooking.
I mean,
I see why cooking can be fun.
I find these cooking shows entertaining, even though they're talking about cooking.
Yeah. You watch. There's a guy that does history and cooking
tasting
at the
history.
same time. Tasting history. Shout out to Tasting History. With
send some people our way, buddy.
Yeah. I don't think that's a guilty pleasure though. I think that's just something you enjoy. I think a guilty pleasure specifically talks about something that in something that in the majority traditionally would be viewed as like embarrassing, I guess.
The old school, well, not old school, it's evolved. But remember the kind of roleplay shit that we would engage in when we were younger?
Roleplay? Like on Facebook and stuff?
Like the old school Facebook era shit.
Days.
I still engage in a more kind of evolved form of that to this very day.
I never really engaged in roleplay or whatever. I think there was one time I did it, and it was at the behest of somebody else. I'm always the type of person who can... You said what?
I remember who.
I don't think you know who, but let's not name names either way. It's not who you think it is. Basically... Sorry, there's going to be a lot of shit in here that's like, wait, what is he talking about? But it's just because me and David have been friends for so long that we have a lot of history.
Yes, we have a anthology of history.
Yes, but if it's something we don't mention, it's probably because it's something that we don't want to mention.
But it is a little bit of a guilty pleasure, man. I know most people be like, dude, just do D&D or something like that shit. But it's like, but it's like, I don't know. There is a certain kind of magic to writing out a character or hunting for a face to match a character. I think
you really like writing. I think you like telling stories.
I love writing and telling stories.
Yeah.
That's why
you portray that in a way in like role play. And I think that's why that's an
outlet.
I'm
trying to get into D&D to make it more of an outlet because D&D is more like a system and also more like a game.
Yeah.
But it's just that the kind of level of freedom that you have, because you can create your own systems and subsystems, and it can all just work together neatly. Why? Because you're God. You're literally you're the architect of universes.
True.
And I guess it just gives kind of like a little bit of a high.
Yeah, I can see that. That's the craziest thing to me is like certain things that would be viewed as guilty pleasures in our world, our society, whatever you want to call it, are done in almost the same way through different systems. And it's kind of weird because D&D roleplay is a good example because you can do those things in D&D. And in some ways you can think it's also as cringy, but I think some people don't view it as that, which is I don't know. They're like, maybe it's because you're not doing it for something. You're not doing it for a game. So people think it's like, well, this is cringier because there's nothing wrapped around it. There's nothing, you're not doing it for a purpose.
That's the thing. But for people who think that the idea is the purpose is not being stood upon you. You are making purpose. It's like writing a book, but it's like writing a book in a dynamic way, engaging with one or two or even more people to create a kind of cooperative story.
Yeah.
And when you find someone, you don't really need to establish rules, because once you find someone, you have an established history with them. It's like a dance. You just both
like
know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just know exactly what to do. You know limitations, and there's unspoken rules that don't really need to be set in stone.
Yeah.
But most people will just, like you said, they think it's cringe, mostly because
I don't think it's cringe. I think
to be
people.
fair, cringe culture is dead.
What?
Cringe culture is pretty much dead at this point.
You think so? I don't think so.
I
think it's manifested in different ways. I think people enjoy cringe content without actually acknowledging that it's cringe content nowadays. You don't really find cringe compilations as much anymore, or you do, but like not. They're not as viewed, I would say, as back in the day.
Oh, I have a story. I need you to grab my phone. You're gonna find this hilarious.
Why do I have to grab your phone?
Because it's over there and it's
oh boy, but I'm very drunk.
Yes, I know. I know you are.
Where's your phone?
It's on your bed.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
So, I punked my brother.
You punked your brother?
Yes, I punked.
A viewer of this podcast.
Yes, I did. It was earlier today because he's actually across the street right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Ron, they're.
Well, you don't have to get in too much detail.
Yeah, no, they're just out of town right now.
Gotcha.
So he's been able to stay over, and I punked him.
You punked him in what way?
I got a second. I got one of those apps that give you a second number.
And
I texted him, and pretending that someone was text. You just gotta listen to it. So the first idea was that I was gonna text him being like, "Listen here, you screwed my daughter, in my bed, no less."
What? What?
Hold on. I want to. He gave me the green light to share this too, so it is fine.
Okay. I'm listening.
All right. So I use the app Text for free.
Gotcha. I remember that when I want to punk somebody.
Hold on, I'm getting like a lot of messages now. All right, so today the first message reads, and it's from me. "I'm coming for you, George. You must be stopped. I found your pathetic stains after you fucked my daughter. In my bed, no less.
Your pathetic stains?
You cannot be allowed to continue to destroy the lives of good men by taking our daughters and our wives. I cannot allow the tears of the working man to run through the streets. I have gathered your information. Your days are numbered. This is a warning, George."
What'd he say?
Josh he doesn't care. He responded with, "Sorry to hear that, homie, but you've got the wrong number. I hope you can get their situation resolved."
Oh, what a
I
nice
responded
guy.
with, "Do not play games with me, George. I have seen this trick before on YouTube. You cannot lie or hide from me. I will use all of my assets to ascertain my victory over you for the common man." He then responded with, "Sorry you feel that way. Best of luck to you, though." And I responded with,
What a level-headed guy.
"You will be the one who is sorry. You will regret that day in Fairfax. I have contacted your brother at the shipyard. You cannot be allowed to continue your spree of cucking. I refuse to allow your seed to spread. It is a virus like COVID. Your associates will not be pleased when I have exacted the wrath of Allah onto you."
Oh boy, we're getting...
And he said, "You will be in my prayers. I hope you can find Christ." And I said, I knew you were a virgin-betting coward.
Holy shit. How long did you go without, like...
For, like, almost 2 hours
My
straight.
dude shit posted the sniper copy box of IRL.
But to,
David is actually surprisingly good at fucking with people.
but to turn your faith on your God to the false Christian Messiah only furthers the unyielding wrath I will inflict upon you. I will take...
How did you come up with all this shit?
I did it on the spot. This is all just...
Good God.
I will take your member and your manhood, and I will make a stew out of it before Ramadan begins. And he meant to say, I mean, if you want to taste it that bad, but I don't approve. Then I
He
responded...
had to have known.
No, he didn't.
He didn't?
Now, the funny part is, he had no idea it was me. He knew... The funny part is that his previous number was owned by someone named George. I just got this right. I just hit the lottery on this.
Really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
And then I said... You depraved Christian dog. First my daughter, and now me? Are not even the honest men safe from your violent and vile corruption? This'll be over soon. He responded with, Are you coming on to me? And
So he's fucking with you.
yeah,
Fucking with
he thinks that someone is fucking with him, so he's fucking
Okay.
back. Because already said at this point he had the wrong number. And I said I would never lay with a man, let alone one who turns on his faith, who breaks his oath to the divine. How can I trust a man whose mind is
This
swayed
is how you know, by the way,
by
David
sweet
is a
words
writer at heart.
of a man who would bed a young boy fresher than a butcher's cut of beef? Then he said, Are you trying to bed me? All I would not approve, shaking my head.
Holy shit, how long did you go on with this?
I went off for a while because he was there. I kept my cool the entire time, too.
Wait, you were texting him while you were in, like, the living room? and he was
While
in
we
the
were
living
in
room?
vicinity of each other.
Oh, boy.
And my
How did
mom
he
was
not
cracking
notice?
up about this.
How did he not notice?
I don't know, because he just didn't think. Neither did my mom. Then I responded with, Do not question my faith, oath breaker. That was a little hint. I was dropping a hint because that's a thing from Game of Thrones.
Uh-huh.
Then he said, Aren't you breaking your oath but by engaging in violence against your fellow man? And I said, I must break my oath to keep it. I will cut out your heart and sacrifice it in the name of Allah. Your sacrilegious words will not sway my anger and devotion to deliver justice. This is where it ends.
Homie gave him the whole Bible.
Then he just said, Lamo, you do.
Lamo.
You do.
He said Lamo.
You do know this really is the wrong number. Then I responded with, No, Robert, this is the right number. You've been punked.
No, Robert.
Yeah, I wanted to make that a little bit creepy at the end. But he did not expect that. And I just went full improv with that.
Why are you punking people, bro?
Because, man, I wanted to see if I could mess with my brother, and it worked. It worked so good. Not even my mom knew it, and she was there, and I had my phone out some points. I was using my phone.
I feel like...
At some point, I was asking him for ideas for topics for us to talk about.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, I'm going to be writing this down on my phone. So that way I had an alibi to use my phone and text of him.
I feel like that's the difference between me and your brother. Is if you tried to fuck with me, my first thought would be, this is probably David or another one of our friends that I associate with. I was like, yeah, I would immediately think it would be you or that other
What's
person.
funny is that app allows you to choose a number.
Yeah, but
And
even then, I think I would.
picked a number
I know that
specifically in
those.
our area.
I know that those apps exist, so I would be like, this could still be David. I know you like to punk people. You get your little kicks. You cross your little fingers and you laugh.
If I had to speak in D&D talk, I have found out that I am a chaotic neutral. I love chaos.
That's where you are on the scale, chaotic neutral.
That's right, I think I am. I even asked my brother to see this question, and he also agreed. He said that on his own, by the way.
Chaotic neutral?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm lawful good.
That's in between chaotic good and chaotic evil.
I'm a lawful good for sure. I'm an
Lawful
Isabel
good.
main.
You're pure. You're pure good. You follow the absolute law.
Yeah. I think any
You wouldn't-
Isabel
you-
main
you
would
wouldn't-
follow the absolute law.
You wouldn't break the law,
No. The purest of the pure.
even if it questioned your morals.
Yeah, I think I'm purest of the pure. Honestly, I mean, I don't think anyone can push past that. I'm honest. My character is honest. It says a lot about me. I'm honest.
Well, man, all right.
Yeah.
To each his own, you fucking nerd.
Anyway,
we have
actual
more
topics that we haven't touched yet.
we have like a lot of topics. This is gonna be
We
a
touched
long
one. We
stream.
touched diversity in gaming.
Yeah, we
We don't have to go through all these.
I
These
wanna
are
go
just
through all
general
of them.
talking points. You want to go through all of them?
Yeah. So let's go to Star Wars.
Star Wars. Oh boy, here comes the nerd speak. Leave while you can.
The prequel,
just kidding.
the prequel trilogy versus the sequel trilogy.
So I think you and I have both unique views on this, and that's why we wanted to talk about it.
I personally think that episode 1 through 3 crushes episodes 7 through 9.
I agree. I like the prequels better than the originals. Don't at me. I think I like the prequels better than the originals is because I like the time period better.
I'm not talking about theirs. I'm talking about the sequels. I'm talking about Rey and all that.
Oh, wait, what?
That's the sequel trilogy.
Oh, you're comparing to the prequels to the sequels.
Yes, that's why I said episodes 7 through 9.
Interesting. I mean, yeah, I don't think... I think that's more universal. I think most people hate the newest movies. Myself in particular, they're nothing. They're fucking, like... callbacks to the original movies that they expect you to understand, that they expect you to stand up in the movie theater and clap at when you see fucking Orlando. What is his name?
Orlando Calrissian.
Orlando Calrissian.
And
When you
then
see
there's
him back,
Han Solo, Captain of the Millennium Falcon.
they want you to stand up and clap and be like, "Yo!" I do respect that they killed Han Solo. I think that that's a choice that they made. That I mean, it was obviously based off of what's his name.
You know what would have been a very ballsy move by their part? Killing Rey off in the first movie and establishing Finn as the main character. Where Finn decides to take... They follow the plot
They'd never do that.
Where Finn was taking the lightsaber, and we see a non-Force user try to hold up the legacy of the Jedi.
That'd be sick. That'd be at least unique.
Because, it's not...
Rey sucks.
It's not like you need to be a Jedi to use a lightsaber good.
Rey sucks.
I
know everybody was like...
Clone Wars for that.
Yeah.
What was his name? The leader of the Death Watch with the dark saber.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
He was a brilliant swordsman with a saber, and he was not a Force user at all.
Yeah, I think that's why part of the reason I like the prequels so much. Not necessarily even the movies, even though I like the movies more. I think it's also like
the Clone Wars.
The Clone Wars, yeah. That shit's awesome.
The thing that teetered on the line of being a kid's show.
That shit is awesome, yeah. It was like a kid's show, but also you can enjoy it as an adult.
It really pushed the boundaries of what it meant to be a kid's show.
Yeah,
many times, especially when they brought in Darth Maul and started having Darth Maul centric episodes.
Yeah,
it got very questionable. Am I watching a kid's show?
I think most Star Wars fans appreciate the Clone Wars a lot. Because I think to them it sort of elevated the movies or the prequels to a point where they could appreciate them versus the actual movies themselves. I am somebody who liked the movies. I like the prequels for the most part.
I just wish they would have done episode 3 in the animation style of Clone Wars. I wish they would have done that so that way we could it would hit harder with the connection that we would have grown into that Anakin.
Well, you mean seeing episode like Revenge of the Sith?
Watching the Clone Wars all the way through and finally getting to where you know where it's going to end.
Yeah.
And you actually see Anakin fall like that. Because you can convey a lot more emotion into models like that than you can of actors. That's how to shot Hayden.
Yeah.
Hayden did a great job at playing Anakin. And I
at most points.
It's the writing, man. It was the writing.
You think so?
Lucas. It was the writing. And Hayden, look. All right. For the writing he was given, Hayden killed it. Because you had to give Anakin Skywalker a reason to fall to the dark side. You had to give him a legitimate reason and backstory.
I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is the way that certain parts of the acting I can see why people are like kind of iffy on. Specifically, like when they first land on Mustafar or whatever with Padme or whatever. I think that one scene, you know what I'm talking about, when they come out of the ship.
Well, where he gets pissed off and starts beating his chest, pretty much.
Oh, like a monkey? Is that what you're?
No, not like a monkey. Like he starts choking her.
Yeah. That scene, I think, at some points could have been either directed better or acted better. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know what the problem was, but
there is quite a bit more that they could have done better with that, and without having to make the Clone Wars save their asses with that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, for the mental state that he was in at the time.
Yeah.
The thing was, Anakin just killed children. Anakin just killed children with his own hands, and children that he knew, he personally knew.
We're getting real nerdy, by the way. I just want to exclaim that we love Star Wars here. Talk. Okay.
Anakin killed children that he personally knew and saw when they were like babies.
Yeah.
That is gonna fuck with someone. And when you're already in that that emotional state instability, that if you don't do this, your wife and your unborn son or child could die, that's gonna fuck with you. And when you're in that instability state, and you see someone who at this point you've been manipulated to believe he's been a thorn in your side and has been an obstacle in your path. I mean, fuck, he's your master. He's coming. Obviously, he's there to stop you.
I agree. I think it's
Anakin. It's logical for Anakin to have thought that, oh shit, Padme has betrayed me by bringing my enemy here to kill me.
I agree. I think there's still a point where it could be acted better or written better, and I sympathize with the people that wish it was acted or directed a bit better. I still think Revenge of the Sith is my favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah, it's really good. You know
really
Hayden's
good.
coming back to play Vader.
Really?
In the Obi-Wan series.
Really?
They're making an Obi-Wan Kenobi live action series.
Oh, that's cool.
It's going to be about his time on Tatooine.
It's interesting because I don't watch a lot of like what would you say, extended universe stuff? Would you call that?
That's not
like The Mandalorian or whatever. I haven't watched it yet.
Mandalorian is good. It's not really extended universe. It's a part of the Star Wars history. It's just kind of like not focused on the Jedi at all. The main character's not really the true main character's not really a Force user. He's just an average guy who's just really fucking good at his job.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, fuck. It's just Book of Boba Fett also plays on the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's.
I think I need to watch more of the extra shows and movies and stuff that they release. There's just so much now. There's so much shit that I have to catch up on. I feel like I haven't even finished the Clone Wars. I haven't finished it yet. Have you?
Dude, I was watching it with you when I had the chance.
We watched one episode together.
I need to sit down and watch the entire thing, and that's going to take some time.
I've already watched the entire thing. I still think it's a really good show. I just need to watch, like, the ending, pretty much. The last season they put out, which was actually recent, so.
I think that the sequel trilogy does have some... I'm going to kind of defend the sequel trilogy here a little bit with this.
Go ahead. I like the sequel trilogy. I don't dislike it.
I think the idea of Finn and the original concept of Finn was very cool.
Never mind.
You're
talking about the sequel trilogy. Never mind. I hate that.
I'm talking about that. I think.
I thought you were talking about the original trilogy. Never mind.
I think Finn, what could have been on Finn was a very interesting idea. The idea of a stormtrooper going rogue and possibly being a Force user. Like whether they were playing on.
They had good ideas. The problem is when it comes down to it, the execution is what matters, and they fucking failed. I think horribly.
I like Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren's cool, but that's the only cool part of the fucking show.
Finn and
That's it.
Kylo Ren are like the fucking only characters that were fucking cool.
Yeah, that's it.
Also, the connection between Kylo Ren and Finn at the beginning of the first movie, when Kylo Ren looked right at Finn,
Yeah.
they just never built upon that. They never built upon where there was like seemingly a connection kind of thing.
It went between directors, and I don't know all the like stories and stuff between that, but I really people said The Last Jedi was the best part of that trilogy.
Also, they could have handled the
didn't like
Palpatine
it.
thing so much better, considering there's
no.
already like source
forgot.
material to go off of.
How did I forget Palpatine comes back?
All right, you know
What
what's
a
funny?
shitty fucking... Oh my god.
You know what's funny?
What?
So the extended universe, they did that right,
Yeah.
but they did it in an actual like better way than what the fucking movie did, because they built up towards it and explained it in a way that made sense.
What a fucking shitty trilogy the new movies were, the prequel trilogy. Oh my god.
You know what I wish
Not the prequel, sorry, the sequel.
You know what I wish would have happened?
What?
I wish at the end, right?
Yeah.
If at the end we would have seen like Anakin's Force Ghost come in, right?
Yeah.
Materialize, and would have been Anakin versus Palpatine to wrap it all up. Come on, man.
No, that would have felt just as like that. To me, that would have felt just as manipulative. Because my biggest problem with the sequel trilogy is like they use so many old characters just to get these hype moments out, and they don't want to make anything original or new or like unique, as opposed to those original like movies. That's my problem. It's not the only problem I have with it. Some of the writing is shit too, but like when you rely on just the old stuff, it sincerely inhibits your ability to create something unique, I feel like. And that's what I want from a Star Wars story. I want something unique. I don't want like something that relies so heavily on the old stories. It's boring to me. Do something new.
I think they should have followed him with the expanded universe, really.
I don't think they should have followed anything. I think these movies should have been something on that they kept, that was unique to them.
Yeah, true, but it still had to fit good with the rest of the whole fucking story of Star Wars. It couldn't just be like
but they can create something that builds off of
space
that story.
monkeys and unicorns.
First of all, Star Wars is just space monkeys and unicorns. Okay, don't even act like it's not. Okay.
It's more like angry old men versus angry young men.
Fuck! I have to piss again. Don't look at me like that. I have a small bladder.
All right,
I'll be right back.
All right, Darth piss a lot.
I'll be right back. Talk about Star Wars while I'm gone.
All right. Yeah. Personally, I'd say fuck the future. Let's go to the past. I want to see a 3-movie trilogy of the Old Republic. I want to see the rise of Revan, the fall of Revan to the dark side, and the redemption of Revan. That's what I think the 3 movies should be about. Revan's time as a Jedi, wanting to do the right thing. The middle movie is him as a Sith Lord. And then the 3rd movie is his redemption and fucking the game but movie. That's what I want. I want to see a lot of Force users. I want to see big battles. Goddamn, I want Game of Thrones treatment for Star Wars, but like the good parts of Game of Thrones, not the bad. Bro.
What?
You gonna share some of that chicken?
What are you talking about?
You frying some chicken in there.
Why do you keep saying frying some chicken?
I'm referencing a fucking video.
Well, I don't know what you're referencing, and I don't think anybody else does, so...
Okay.
Alright, we ready to move on to our next subject?
No, we've really done that much with this one yet.
Alright, what else do you want to talk about?
Who would you say your favorite character from
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Trilogy? Yes.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Even if the clones are included?
Yes, I think still Obi-Wan.
Why Obi-Wan?
He's wise. He's cool. He's hot. Like the frozen sun.
He's
young, he's hip, he's the chosen one. Well, he's not the chosen one.
No,
Anakin is the chosen one. But
who's your least favorite character in the original trilogy?
My least favorite character?
Yes. You can even be a side character. But characters.
I don't... I was going to say Mace Windu, but that might be a little... Is that racist?
No, Mace Windu is kind of a dick.
He doesn't really provide much.
Samuel L. Jackson is a great actor.
I also don't
guy,
like the really big forehead guy. What's his name? The big cone head guy? Kiadi-Mundi. I don't think he adds much. What's the point of him? World building? Fuck him. Get rid of Kiadi-Mundi.
He was kind of cool. I mean,
fuck him.
I mean, what about the droid attack on the Wookiees?
Fuck him.
I mean, he's
Chewbacca, best character, 2020.
I mean, if you were to say fuck him, then the Wookiees would have died.
The Wookiees would be alright. The Wookiees can handle themselves. They're badasses.
Yeah, sure. They handle themselves great against the Empire.
What's your point? Do you hear this fucking nerd speaking? Wookiees are way better than Kiadi-Mundi. Big forehead fucking idiot. Okay.
Looks aren't the determinator of power. If you get looks from power, then I don't know.
It's not just looks. He's dumb.
I don't know.
He's fucking dumb. You see him in the Clone Wars too. He's big headed and he's dumb.
He has a lot of wives. He's
a Mormon.
It's funny too because it's funny too that actually shows the hypocrisy of the Jedi because he was allowed to have wives.
Wait, Kiadi-Mundi was?
Yes, he had many.
He was
wives
allowed to have wives.
Because his species had very
what
low
an
population.
Asshole.
His species had very low population.
But Anakin didn't have a chance to marry Padme. Oh. When you don't know anything about Star Wars, but listen anyways. I'm sorry. We're nerds. Yeah. David put this on the topic list, so blame him.
All right. Well, I mean, hey, let's
Kiadi-Mundi is
the guy
time
with the ago in a galaxy far.
That's all I can say.
What?
Kiadi-Mundi. He's the guy with the penis head.
I don't really think he's like that. That's not really a penis head.
Just look up Kiadi-Mundi on Google. You know exactly who I'm talking about. If you've ever heard anything about Star Wars.
He looks like, I remember the Thumb Thumbs from Spy Kids? he looks like that, but a finger version. He looks like a finger.
Oh, no, he looks worse because he's combined with real human attributes.
Yeah, and he's kind of old.
All right, enough Star Wars.
Enough.
What's
no
next?
Clone Wars stuff. No Clone Wars stuff.
You can talk about that if you want.
I mean,
we'll gloss over it if you want.
That's something we should save for another time then.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Steam Deck.
Steam Deck. I pre-ordered a Steam Deck. I'm very excited to get my hands on one. It's basically, if you don't know
I can't wait to try it for 5 minutes.
If you don't know what a Steam... I just put my hand in fucking melted ice cream. That's fucking wonderful. If you don't know what a Steam Deck is... Steam Dick. If you don't know what a Steam Deck is, it's basically... it's a Switch, but PC. That's basically what it is.
It's better Switch.
It's a better Switch. Can run a bunch of shit.
You can run Switch games on it.
You can put Windows on it. It naturally comes with Steam OS. If you don't know what a Steam Deck is, you should look it up. It's really great.
I can't wait to try it for 5 minutes.
It's a massive improvement on PC mobility. It's just a PC that's a Switch basically.
It's
that's
a
all
better
it is.
phone.
You can install Windows on it. It has Steam OS by default, but you can change that. You can install all your Steam games on it. You can install any PC game you want. You can do emulation on it. Massive pocket, exactly.
Exactly.
You can even, they showed a way on Steam, on the Valve YouTube channel itself, where you can switch out the SSD, you can switch out the battery, you can switch out all this shit,
and it can run Linux.
Yeah, it can run Linux too. It's a PC in a handheld form factor, basically.
And the power that it can play Doom.
It can play Control.
You can play Doom Eternal.
You can play Doom Eternal at 60 or
high
some
settings.
Shit. Yeah, I wouldn't say high setting.
That's what they were showing. The live thing was high settings.
Maybe, I don't know. I didn't watch.
Then they were getting 60 frames at high settings on that thing. That is very impressive for that thing.
I didn't watch all that. Then maybe
Steam Deck is a beast. And as soon as I can get some money, I'm gonna get one. I mean, unless my homie wants to hook me up here. I mean,
maybe give me a loan or something.
I can.
Basically, it's the sickest piece of PC hardware that's coming out recently, and
it's going to create a new platform. Similar to how the laptop is its own kind of thing.
It sounds like we're hyping it up. If you look it up, you'll understand everything. It's not just hype. It's actually revolutionary. The only other things that are made like it is the Aya Neo basically is a platform like it. The problem with the Eye Neo is it's like $1,000. The Steam Deck you can get for the lowest price of $300.
Think about mobile
$300.
VR.
That's the lowest price.
Mobile VR for PC. Mobile PC VR.
It was not confirmed that it could do VR, but we'll see.
I mean, who knows? It might. If it can, then
That'd be crazy.
Woo! Oh yeah, you can also dock it to dock it like a Switch.
Yeah, you can put it in a dock. You can use it as a regular PC with a monitor if you want.
Literally, if you watch the interview, they just like it's a PC.
It's crazy, basically. I ordered one, pre-ordered one. I ordered, I think, the $500 one, which
you pre-ordered a year ago, I think.
I pre-ordered it a while ago, but
You're supposed to be getting it soon.
it ships. If you're the first if you're the first mass of units, it ships February 25th, I think, or that's when they charge you at least.
You're a quadrant 2.
Quadrant? How do you know?
Because I remember when you bought it, and I specifically remember that number because I'm hyped for it.
It didn't tell me.
Yes, it did.
It doesn't tell you the quadrant.
It does when you go to buy it.
Let me have copium, okay? I might be quadrant 1, okay? Which means I might get it in fucking.
You're quadrant 2.
You don't know that.
I know that because you went to go
Hush.
buy it.
Hush. Let me
Don't
be
tell-
excited.
You can be excited, but be realistic.
I'm excited. I'm realistically excited.
I'm excited, but I'm realistic.
Listen, okay? It doesn't matter. Eventually, I'm gonna get my hands on one, and it's gonna be sick. It's like a Switch but PC.
I'm gonna try it for like maybe 5 minutes.
You keep saying that. You can try it for however long you want, as long as you're over here.
Alright, fine.
I'm still not. Here's the thing. I'm still not going to switch over from using a desktop mainly to that. It's just something I want to have like
there.
Externally or what do you secondarily. I'm fucking drunk. I'm sorry. It's getting to that point where I'm drunk as fuck. Secondarily, yeah.
A secondary.
Where if
option.
I want to lay in my bed and play some emulator games, that's really what I want it for mostly. Is emulation. I'm super excited about it. I want to do emulation. I want GameCube games on the go. I want Wii games on the go.
You want to run Switch games better?
I don't know if it can emulate Switch. That all depends on the emulators available, but we'll see.
I don't know, man. If it can run Doom Eternal.
Doom Eternal is a very optimized game. 0000. Do you see that?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's the time that's on my
zero
monitor. Anyway. Quick, do you have anything to say about Steam Deck? It's cool. It's hot like the frozen sun.
Here's the thing. I think that it really shows the future and direction of PCs in general and consoles. Because I think if the Steam Deck, I know the Steam Deck is gonna fucking revolutionize everything.
Yeah.
Other companies are probably going to have to produce their own to try to keep up with this new field of competition.
I think more importantly,
that Valve is about to dominate.
I think more importantly is it's going to offer a market where you're going to be forced to not just hike your prices up for these like handheld gaming PCs because Valve isn't the first to do this. Like I said, Neo, and there's a few others that have done this before.
Valve is dropping the price on what these things actually are dramatically.
Yeah, I think that's because they have the
investment.
opportunity to. They have the Steam store. They can rely on software sales rather than necessarily hardware sales. They can sell the Steam Deck at a loss, which I think they've confirmed that they're actually doing.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
Because they're trying to push this hard. The fact that it's cheaper means that people who have not gotten into PC gaming will be able to get this
for just $300. And it's not a joke. Like, it's a decent PC. It's a decent system. It's not a joke. Like $300 will get you like the shitty little like you can run indie games thing. No, it's like you can run Control, for example. You can run some like not necessarily the most modern AAA games.
Skyrim at flash settings.
Fucking Skyrim is not modern, I would say. If the Switch can run Skyrim, we're not looking at.
I can't really name a fucking a good.
You don't play modern games.
GTA 5.
GTA 5, like stuff like that, you can run these things. Maybe not at the highest setting.
Who knows?
But you can get like 60 FPS from them if you tweak the settings and stuff like that. That's a big deal for PC gaming in general because the base starting price is $300. And that's the only difference between that and the most expensive price is the storage. That's it. The performance is the exact same from the $500 variant to the $300 variant.
Which is a very smart move. Might hear that. Here's just the big thing about all this though. Like, Microsoft is gonna have to Sony.
No.
I feel like if this dominates enough, they might have to make their own platform, their own handhelds. This will be a whole new market for them.
Microsoft does not give a shit about handhelds. They never have. I don't think that's going to change. They have their own market. There are people that are never going to care about handheld gaming, and that's fine. You can sort of push your products to that market. But I think in general, not just for the handheld gaming aspect, I think the important thing about the Steam Deck is you have that dock that can turn it into just a straight up PC that you can use a mouse and keyboard with and hook it up to a monitor. It's not limited to just the handheld experience. It's the Switch of PCs essentially. I think that's important because it's not just a shitty little piece, a little device. You can run some AAA games on it. I think that's important. People don't have a lot of money to spend on that stuff, but that $300 margin is like the perfect space where you can kind of be like, okay, I can save up for this, or I can just outright pay for it without it being too much of a commitment. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm gonna say, man, the performance of some of these games are gonna be fucking great. You know?
You think so?
I think it will be.
I don't know. I have to actually try it. I'm looking forward to it, but
speaking of performance, I have a question for you.
What's up?
Like, what for you playing games, right?
This is leading into a next topic, right?
Yeah. So I was trying to make a smooth transition.
That's all we have to say about Steam Deck. We're just excited for what PC gaming holds in general. I'm not trying to kill it. I'm trying to elaborate before we end the Steam Deck discussion, okay? I think PC gaming in general, if it goes in the direction of these different sort of form factors, I'm very excited to see what they come up with, especially the Switch in general. I love the Switch. I love playing games in my bed. I love taking those games then to the big screen. I just wish I had the freedom of PC, and now that that's coming to a system, I'm very excited. Anyway.
I want a style where I can just go places and do my game.
Yeah, true. I agree.
Well, I want to be able to go to a buffet to eat food while I play my nudie Skyrim.
While you play,
all right.
While you play your modded big titty Skyrim adventure.
And the little kid's like, "Mommy, what's that?
Mommy, this guy has actually some unforeseen things.
Mommy, what is that cat man doing?"
Oh boy.
What point does the game become unbearable for you to play?
So the question here, sort of leading off of the Steam Deck and its unknown performance stability, I guess, is at what point does a game become unplayable? Because I brought this up, or I think we both brought this up, for the reason of, like, you and me are very different people. We have very different PC setups. We both love PC, but we experience it in different ways. You on the lower end, me on the higher end, I would say. And so our bearableness for games running on a PC is very different. I tend to prefer higher frame rates. You tend to be able to settle at lower ones. So I guess the question is, at what point does a game become unplayable through performance?
I can no longer play games at 10, 15 frames.
20, 10, or 15 frames?
I got that.
What frame rate does a game
have? Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
I have a potato computer.
Yes.
My computer is like almost no, it is older than most of the games on the market right now. Yeah. It is dirt old. I don't even have. It has I think like a GeForce 680.
It's an i3 processor.
Yes. I am running. It is a miracle that thing is even working the way that it is. So I have to settle for lower for like 30 frames.
To be fair, like, you get not decent frames, but you're not at the point where you absolutely, like, what's the word? You can't play certain games.
Don't get me wrong. There's a third party application called Higalo Boost. Which helps boost frame rates for games, right?
Yeah.
There are points where I have to use that for Skyrim, and I am willing to take that sacrifice to be able to at least have some kind of enjoyment in some games. I wish it was not like that. I would like to have 60 At the very least, I would like to have that. I would like.
What's the
to have
lowest
stuff.
frame rate before you're like, fuck this, I can't play it anymore? What's the most bearable, or the least, or
The most that I can work with.
Yes.
The most I can work with is 25.
25 frames.
Yeah, that's the
Ooh,
most I can
for
work
like a
with.
60 frame game.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I am.
I would never be able to.
Yeah, it's just it goes back to one of our old topics. Like I don't have money.
Oh, okay, that was not an old topic,
No,
but if you want to get in.
Last week.
Last week we talked about that.
Yes. Remember piracy? Piracy.
Oh yeah.
So I don't have that kind of money. So if I would upgrade my. I wouldn't upgrade my computer. I just get a whole new one. There's no point in upgrading that thing.
I mean, there's
no saving that computer.
I talked about this before, but I think just buying a whole new pre-made computer is cheaper than building your own, like, computer.
Which
at
is
this
funny
point.
because it wasn't always the case.
Well, it's because computer parts have gone up individually so much, and a lot of these companies who are making pre-builts aren't lowering their prices or hiring their prices for some reason, which I'm thankful for, or they are, but not as much. If you want a 3080, it is. Yeah, you have to sell your arm and your leg to get a 3080.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong.
but here's the thing, man. I don't like. I wanted to get enough money to build like a mega supercomputer.
Yeah.
But at this point, it's like I'm gonna have to get more than an arm and leg. I'm gonna sell my soul.
You're gonna have to sell your body on the black market.
I'm gonna have to sell my body. I'll have to rent out my being.
You're gonna have to sell your consciousness to some ethereal being.
No one's gonna take these things. So I'm shit out of luck.
Yeah.
No one wants my consciousness.
I don't want a 3080.
No one wants to rent.
It's crazy because there are people that have 1080s still, like 1080 graphics cards, that are still able to run these games, maybe on lower settings, but
I would
are still content with them. You would sell what for 1080?
I would settle for a 1080.
Oh, I was about to say.
Because it is already 1,000 times better than what I have right now.
I looked it up. A 3070 Ti, which I was thinking of buying, is just as expensive as a fully built computer, or almost as expensive as a fully built computer with a 3060 Ti. That's insane to me. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, you might as well just buy the whole computer at that point. You get more for your money. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Pre-builts seem to be the way to go, I guess, right now, because individual parts are just way too expensive. Unless you're just buying one individual part, then it's like, okay, I could see maybe. But yeah, it's crazy. I wanted to upgrade recently.
Sorry, everyone.
No, you're good. I wanted to upgrade recently from my processor from an i7 to an i9. An i9's like fucking $600, man. It's so expensive.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus, man. That's such an investment for... I love PC gaming, but man, like, I want to wait for it to go down. It just never seems like it's going to. It's crazy. So you said 25 is the limit for you? Man, I don't know. I would say 50 is like the limit for me. 55. I'm very different than you. I'm used to like the higher end gaming experience, I would say, but I don't think I can play a game that's like lagging. It depends on how consistent the lag spikes are, I think. If it's like laggy, but it's like consistent lag, if that makes any sense, then it's more bearable. I could probably play it like something like 30. But for a 60 frame per second game, it'd be hard for me to compromise, I think. You're in a different position than me, though.
Yeah, I don't, There's a reason why I stick to a certain group of games.
Jumpy frame rates are worse than consistent 30, for example. Yeah, that's what I mean. If a game is like consistent 30, I can deal with that. If it's like jumpy 30, that's a whole different story. I don't think I could deal with that. But we come from different flocks, yeah. So we have different experiences. I remember watching you. Sometimes I would watch you play Skyrim at like 25 frames per second, and I was like, "Oh my god, how do you deal with that?" And you're just like, this is a good frame rate for me. With all my mods, this is favorable.
Yeah, it really is.
I was like, jeez, man.
Because sometimes you just gotta. I will also go out of my way to like reduce the amount of mods I have active at a time.
Just for frame rate?
Just for frame rate, and get mods which do the same thing, but are better and don't have to load as much.
Yeah.
I do not wiry bash and all that kind of like bash patch stuff that people recommend. I don't know how to do all that, and that's a lot more work. It's already a lot of work downloading the mods and dragging them, which I know that sounds very lazy, but holy fuck, holy fuck, is it a lot?
I went through my
especially troubleshooting.
I went through my ultimate mods recently because I told you they stopped working. Well, I updated Acropolis, so a lot of my mods stopped working, and I had to go back and re-get all the mods I had or all the ones I wanted. And no, I get it. It doesn't seem like a lot of work, but it's like making sure things work with each other, making sure your game's not gonna crash when you load it up. It's intimidating, to say the least.
Yeah.
I would say you know more about this than I do because you spend like weeks fucking modding Skyrim. Just weeks doing it to build your perfect Skyrim or whatever.
It really does. It takes a hot minute, man.
Yeah.
RimWorld's a lot easier to fucking do it because there's Steam store, and like the only thing about RimWorld that's a pain in the butt is that there's long load times and you have a lot of mods, and that's just for like restarting like the game. After that, you're pretty much golden. And just like you can wait like maybe 15 minutes for like load to main menu time with a lot of mods.
Do you remember when Minecraft was a lot easier to mod than it is today? What happened, man? I used to mod the shit out of Minecraft.
Now it's all Curse Forge this.
Yeah, it's like you need
Overwolf that.
You need Curse, or you need Fabric, or you need this like some sort of like base mod to load all your other mods. If you don't have it,
to be fair, at one point it was a bit more complicated. You had to go on the .rar. You had to delete your metadata.
Meta.inf was something that I was used to deleting. Maybe that's why, but
yeah,
it used to be you just drag and drop your fucking mods you want into your .minecraft folder, and you load it up and you have fucking mods. It's that easy. You just delete your meta.inf folder, load all your other mods in, you're good. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
Now it's like this whole complicated thing where you need all these other mods just for one mod to work. It's sad because I feel like I've been discouraged from modding a lot of shit recently because it's just been so hard. Ironically enough, modding on a console, on Nintendo Switch, modding Ultimate mods feels easier than modding something on PC that's like Minecraft or something, because in Ultimate it really is just drag and drop as long as you have the right version of Acropolis or whatever. It's that easy. You just drag and drop, your mod's loaded. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And then you sort of mod troubleshoot from there. Switch emulator mods are easy too. Yeah. I think in general, like, I mean, emulator stuff I've always found to be pretty easy. Like Dolphin texture packs or Dolphin mods in general, you just drag into a folder usually. Weirdly enough, I mean, but emulators are the future of consoles. I feel like console games, at least. So, would you agree?
Yeah.
David over here falling asleep.
I'm not falling asleep. I guess my big thing is of modding and all that kind of shit with games like that. It's the time that it takes to fucking get all this shit done.
It's just not always worth it.
Sometimes it's worth it. It depends on the game, and it just depends on what time you have in your hands. Skyrim is like, there's a lot of troubleshooting, and it's a lot of troubleshooting, and it's like it can be really worth it. It can be very worth it. But then I go and fuck up by adding another mod, which just fucks the entire thing up, and I'm like, I don't want to have to cut off all these mods to find out what is it.
This experience
everyone always recommends you gotta enable one by one, and I'm like,
it's such a process. Nobody's got time for that shit.
And then I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go play Sims or RimWorld or Minecraft. And
Sims
3.
Sims 3? You don't like Sims 4?
Sims 3 has more content than Sims 4.
Yeah, you're right. I was gonna make this one into a whole big topic, but I completely agree with you. There's no point in going deeper.
The only thing that Sims 4 has cool going for it is
the character creation.
The character creation, the fact you can skill things. That's it. That's it. All it has.
Sims be what's
Sims
the word?
2
Sims
is
fell
also
off.
good. Sims good. Sims 2 is also good, but Sims 3 is where it's at.
Sims 3 is the apex of Sims gameplay.
It is. It is. You ever did the rags to riches challenge?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Essentially, you start out with no home. You start with just like a backpack, and with no money at all. And you gotta work your way into having a home. You can't get a standing job.
I like killing people in The Sims.
Yeah, you're a little you like playing evil characters in The Sims.
I like trapping people in pools and watching them die. Anyway, you wanna move on?
No.
No.
No, I mean I personally.
You want to move on to our next topic, which is overrated games. Wait, what's that other one in between?
I don't want to wrap this podcast up just yet.
Well, we're an hour and 40 minutes in.
And
our goal is to shoot for 2 hours.
All right, because then we gotta do some air ride.
And Sans Undertale.
And Sans Undertale.
Murdering people and blowing planes. I'm seeing a pattern. All right, listen. Okay. I enjoy the unrealistic aspects of games, okay? Sometimes you just want to blow a plane up. Sometimes you just want to run it into a building that looks awfully...
And you give...
Let's cut this out.
You give me shit for wanting to beat the shit out of people in games.
No, I don't give you shit for it. I think it's fine. I just think you do it for hours on end and only do that one thing. You can kill people in unique ways in video games.
And I just go at them. I even...
Sometimes
I truly am just an agent of chaos.
Take Just Cause, for example. Maybe you want to strap a bunch of people to a plane with your grappling hook. You can do that. Why wouldn't you do that? It's fun.
I'd say more as fun is like strapping a whole bunch of people to a truck and just driving around with their bodies ragdoll against the ground.
I'm learning a lot about you, David.
Yeah, you go planes. I go for body rag.
Look, I don't want to kill anybody in real life, okay? I just get the opportunity to in video games, okay? I don't attribute real feelings to those, to pixels. It's just funny to see people. How is it not funny to see a bunch of people stuck to a grappling hook, stuck to a plane as you're running through the atmosphere? And they're like a little kite you're pulling around with you. It's funny.
I mean, I like using planes in GTA too.
It's fun.
But what I use planes for, what you use planes for, are different things.
What do you use planes for?
I like going to the airport, getting the biggest plane I can, and crashing into an interstate.
So you're a terrorist?
No, that'd be crashing into a building.
Here we go.
Here we go, David. Wanting to cause chaos. You should have let Meteor Genocider out, man. I would have.
No. We're beating Sans together, okay?
Yeah, he needs my help.
You're not gonna be able to do it. You're gonna lose to the first part.
And you'd be like, oh, it's just too hard, Zach. Yeah,
everybody, listen to him crying right now, and I want you to in the later when we do the second stream, the gamer stream, I want you to listen to his cries of woe about how hard it is. Okay. What do you have to say for yourself?
Listen, Zach.
In advance. I told David I had a problem, and my problem was a skeleton named Sans. I'll be judging you after I beat Sans 8 times now. You beat Sans 8 times? David, if you fuck up, that's what you have to do.
What the fuck do you mean? This is your channel. You'll be the one who's fucking up.
No, but I'm applying this to you.
Yeah, because you're trying to scapegoat responsibility.
Maybe.
You're trying to scapegoat responsibility.
I might be trying to scapegoat responsibility. But
because this is your Twitch channel, me failing
is a failure on your part. This is my Twitch channel, but anybody who stumbles across this video on Showhippies please come to my Twitch channel and watch the VOD where David loses to Sans 100 times. Then he has no excuse.
No.
Win one heal? Is that what that says? With one heal. What? Okay. You're on a different level. I don't know if we'll ever be able to reach that.
It's always the big titty goths. It's always the big titty goths.
It do be the big titty goths. Next topic.
Next topic. What's the most overrated game in your opinion?
Overrated games.
Overwatch.
Oh, you think Overwatch is overrated?
I think Overwatch is overrated as fuck. I think some of the
Have
characters
you ever
are
played
attractive,
Overwatch?
but that's pretty much, yes, I have.
You've played Overwatch like 3 times.
I played Overwatch like multiple times when I came over to your place, and I own the game. I
You
bought
own
the game. I
bought the game for you. Did I not?
It was like $90.
It was not $90.
I bought the disc version
What?
from Best Buy.
You bought?
I
Why?
bought Overwatch.
Why did you buy the disc version?
Because I wanted the physical copy.
What kind of loser only buys physical?
Oh
copies?
man, I wonder what kind of loser only buys physical copies again and never plays any of them.
You're on a fucking another level if you think I don't play the games I buy. Okay.
Oh,
It just
really?
takes a while for me to get to them.
So how's your Nier Automata playthrough coming?
I almost beat Nier Automata.
Oh really?
No, that's a lie.
All right. My point is proven.
Oh shit.
How about the several games you haven't even opened yet?
There's like 3 games I haven't opened yet. One of them is a titty game, so that doesn't count. I haven't opened that one yet out of shame.
Oh, so that would have been a great thing for guilty pleasures.
Guilty pleasures?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't play titty games. I just get horny and then I'm like, I'm gonna buy this game, and then I do, and then I never play it.
Look, man.
It's not a guilty pleasure.
Look, man. Respect, all right? Respect.
What do you mean respect? You have no shame. You
but-
play titty Skyrim mods.
Yeah, and?
Yeah, that's not a guilty pleasure if you have no shame.
Yeah, I don't have any shame at all.
So then that's not a guilty pleasure.
I have lost the ability to feel shame on certain things.
Uh-huh.
Keyword certain. Yeah, I think Overwatch is overrated.
I was about to say we should get back.
It's not.
Why do you think
The gameplay was fun until they added all
this
this
is such
fucking
a
changes.
fucking stupid thing? Okay, Overwatch is a horrible example because what do you mean by overrated? Half the people that play Overwatch fucking hate themselves and they play Overwatch on a daily basis. That's not overrated.
Like
they know
League of Legends players.
League of Legends players are different. Some people genuinely love League.
Some people genuinely love Overwatch.
Not me. I have a love.
Do you love League?
No, I've never played League.
Then why would you specifically say you don't love Overwatch?
Because Overwatch makes me want to fucking blow my brains out.
True, but you said that people genuinely love League, and I said some people genuinely love Overwatch. And then you just went out and said, not me.
Very few people genuinely love Overwatch. If you play that game, you have to hate yourself in some way. I'm convinced.
I mean, there is also a thing as playing for fun instead of just going straight for competitive.
If you play for fun, if you don't play for competitive, you're not playing for fun. Hot take.
So if you're not making your life hell, you're not having fun. So you just don't have fun. Do you think
there is no fun in my life, David? It's just gamer.
Do you think that your overdrive and your over seek competitiveness is what ruins games for you?
No, I think if a game has a competitive aspect to it, I get more invested into it. But it can also make me have a love-hate relationship with those games, which
like
I don't.
Melee?
No, I love Melee. I would fuck you up in Melee any day of the week.
Why we stop playing it?
Because Ultimate took over. It was easier to set up. Checkmate.
Well, is it really easy? Apparently it's just easy to set up Melee.
Okay, if I'm being honest, the reason we stopped playing Melee is because my controllers have snapback, and it's not fun to play with snapback.
So
just buy new controllers, he says. Just buy a new controller. Just pull money out of your ass and buy new controllers.
There's probably a cheap controller that has no snapback.
Zach has to say his overrated game. My overrated game. What game do I think is overrated? God, there's a lot of games that I think are overrated.
Most
overrated?
Yes.
I think Zelda is a good example. I think a lot of Zelda games that people hold near and dear. I think Wind Waker is overrated. That's right. I said it. Kill me in whatever comment section, chat section, whatever.
All right, so I'm taking over this channel now. This is mine.
Here we go. Go ahead and say it. Tell me about how you love Wind Waker. How it's the best game ever. Traveling the sea is the most boring thing ever. To be clear, I want to state I like Wind Waker. I don't think it's a masterpiece. I am scared of the ocean.
That's why I don't like it. You're just scared of the ocean. You're
not in video games, no. If I play a baby Nintendo game,
why don't we play Subnautica?
Subnautica's different. Subnautica is actually terror level.
Yeah,
like,
and?
Fuck with you.
I mean, come on, it's Subnautica. Like, come on.
Subnautica.
I don't have a fear of the ocean.
I will play Subnautica on stream. I'll do it. I'll be terrified, but I'll play hardcore.
The hardest difficulty possible.
You have to be here when I play it.
I will be here when you play it.
Okay, fine. We'll schedule. I will play Subnautica with David. We can do split controls.
Okay, all right.
Split.
Actually, I want to see you conquer your thalassophobia.
My what?
Your fear of the ocean. I want to see you face it.
You said phasmophobia. That's fear of ghosts.
Thalassophobia. Thalassophobia is the fear of the ocean.
Okay, it's official. Me and David at some point in the future, I don't know when, this is arbitrary, but we will play Subnautica with each other. Split controls. David will control either keyboard or mouse, and I will control the other. And I'll probably be shitting my pants because I hate the ocean. Tuesday? Wait, what day is today?
Saturday.
Say Sunday, you fucking idiot.
It just turned Sunday.
It just turned Sunday, you're right. Tuesday? We can do it Tuesday.
You're off Tuesday, so... I'll
play Subnautica Tuesday.
All right.
I'm very drunk right now, so you're going to have to remind me, but I will do it. I'll do it. We'll do split control Subnautica. We'll have a good time.
What do you think is the most underrated game of all time?
I haven't even said my most overrated, have I? What did I say?
You said Wind Waker.
Wind Waker? I don't think that's the most overrated, though.
Yes, you did. You said that.
I think Wind Waker is overrated in the sense that most people hype it up, even though it's just a good game. It's not an amazing game. I think Wind Waker is just good. I don't think it's amazing. I think it was amazing for the time it was released.
Then what's your most overrated game?
What's my most overrated game?
Yes.
Fuck, that's really hard.
Well, what's an overrated game to you?
There's quite a few, but I don't...
Without looking at your Steam library.
I have to look at my Steam library, otherwise I'll have no idea.
See, you're boring me.
I think even... Is it... There's so many games. I think Grand Theft Auto 5 overrated.
Why?
Multiplayer sucks ass. The heists are the only good thing about Grand Theft Auto 5. Single player, I would argue, even gets boring at a certain point. The story becomes predictable. Overrated, my opinion. I think so. Fuck, what else?
What are some ways do you think Rockstar could have handled the game better?
Make multiplayer more fun.
How?
Such a vague way. I don't know. I think multiplayer and GTA games are just... They're so boring. The world doesn't feel connected to what you want to do. I think that's the problem. If it was heist and you had like 100 heists to choose from in GTA, I would play the shit out of that. I would love that. I think that would be a great example. If it's like Payday 2, but Payday 2 with a open world that you can also explore optionally. Hey man, I'm down for that. I want heists. I want lots and lots and lots and lots of heists, not just like 3 or 5 to choose from the base game. I want more. Yeah, I think that could be a lot of fun. That's the most fun I had in GTA 5 at least.
What's the most underrated game?
You keep asking me this.
Yeah, because you want to bring it up.
GTA V is literally just money glitching for like 50 hours until you get good stuff, then got bored of it as soon as you get it. I agree. It's funny because me and my cousin used to play that game all the time. We met a hacker who had a machine gun that would just shoot out bags of money. And he did that for a while. After I got all that money, I was just so bored. I didn't know what to do anymore. I was bored. Like, I bought cars and stuff. I had a garage. I still have millions of dollars in that game just because, like, the hacker, I never got banned for it. My cousin did get banned for it somehow, but I didn't. And I just have so much money now.
Maybe you log on and you get insta-banned.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't logged on to that in for a while because it's such a shitty online service where there's nothing to do.
If you get banned.
Launch it up now? I don't have it installed.
Oh, install it fast. Let's see if you get banned.
What else do I think is overrated? I'm trying to think of an overrated game that you really like. I'm not gonna install it.
Wait, you're trying to think of a game that I like?
Yeah, that way. Wait, you said Among Us originally. You said Among Us is overrated.
Yeah, Among Us is overrated.
I agree.
It's fun, but like it's not. It's not as Among Us that would be.
But Among Us was more like a trend thing.
I actually have a final topic after this.
Let me find one more overrated game if I can find one, and then I'll bring that up. There's so many. Half-Life 2. I think that's a good one. Half-Life 2 I think is overrated as fuck. Half-Life 1 is so much better than 2 in every way possible, I think, personally. I think you switch between areas so much in Half-Life 2 that it loses some substance. You lose the feeling of each area. It doesn't impact you as much. I think Black Mesa is a really good setting. I think the horror aspect of 2 was lost quite a bit. I think Half-Life 2 is overrated. I think number 1 is way better than 2. Final opinion. Your thoughts. David.
Persona 5.
Persona 5 is an overrated. Some people would agree with that, I think. We'll bring up the last thing. I think that's my biggest overrated thing. I think in the game industry, there's a lot of people that are so ready to suck a game's dick and so ready to hate a game on the opposite that it leaves a lot of games to be underrated and a lot of games to be overrated, and I think that sucks. Some games I play that have so much hype tied behind them, I'm just like, I don't understand at all what the hype is, or like the trend, the massive trend is. But I mean, it's just with gaming in general, I guess. To each their own. What about you, David?
For me?
What do you think is the most underrated game?
The most underrated game?
Yeah, that you have played personally.
That I play personally.
Yeah.
Did you pick a game you played personally?
Answer my question, you motherfucker. What's your most underrated game?
I'm thinking.
That you would recommend to everybody that nobody has played much of? Silence.
I'm thinking, dude.
I have to piss so badly.
Go piss while I think.
But you have to talk, otherwise we have to cut this part out.
Alright, well then I guess we gotta cut this part out.
Fuck, I have to piss. I'll be right back. It's too much. Think hard. And hard and long.
Brain blast. Fuck, most underrated game of all time, huh? This is a very difficult question.
I shall cleanse you.
What are you doing?
I'm spraying Lysol. I found it. I don't know. What's your most underrated game?
I'm thinking. I don't know, man. I don't
you look
know.
Fucked up. You look more drunk than I do, and you've only drank 2 beers.
I
already have an answer for my most underrated.
I don't. What?
There's 2 games that come to mind when I think most underrated. Number 1, Time Splitters. Play that series. If you have not played it, play it. It's great. Not enough people know about it. It's actually goated.
It's a good game.
Secondly, if you like anime, this is a good weeb game for you.
What?
Reciteer. An Item Shop's Tale. You can find it on Steam. It's a really good, unique game where you play as a shopkeeper and you sell items. And you get to choose the price of your items. You also get to go to dungeons and you get to find those items. It's really good. It's kind of weeby, but I mean, hey, it's good. It's really good. More people should know about it.
I can't.
Everyone knows that game? Is it not underrated? Oh boy, am I a fraud? Am I a fake? Am I a fraud? It's a good game.
He's a fraud.
He's a fraud. Maybe people know about the game, but I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it, at least. Aside from like a few people.
Most underrated
Millions
game?
of views on YouTube. Well, fuck me.
Minecraft. I'm joking.
The most underrated game? Yeah, definitely Minecraft. I think more people should know about that game. It's a voxel game where you play blocks. What's your last topic? You look like you're about to die.
I'm fucking... I don't know how I got that wasted, but I'm fucking crunk.
You cannot be that wasted. You drank 2 beers.
I was telling you, my mind is spinning really bad right now. I'm fucking... I want more.
Well, then drink more.
I need food. You have food?
I don't have food. I have beer. We can get food when we're done with the podcast.
Okay.
How's about that?
Okay.
I mean, we can't go to McDonald's. That's not open anymore. So we'll have to settle for what we have here. But
wait, you got burritos?
No, I don't think I have. Maybe I have burritos. I'll check.
You got the burritos still?
Maybe. Maybe we'll see.
Cause I want beer and burrito. All right.
I'll see what I can do for you. What was your last topic?
What do you think?
What do I think of what?
What do you think is the...
Wait, hang on. Underrated games. One
okay.
more. You've heard of Recettear and Item Shop's Tale, but have you heard of Chantilly's, made by the same people? That's also a good game. Chantilly's, it's also on Steam. It's made by the same people who made Recettear Item Shop's Tale. I don't know if that one has 1 million views or whatever. It's a really good game too. Check that one out if you haven't heard of it. Anyway, next. Go ahead. What's your next topic? What's your final topic?
We haven't recorded this at all, right?
I'll just pull the VOD. It's fine. It's a still image. It's not like we're going to lose quality. What's your last topic? You don't even remember it, do you?
You were talking so much, I forgot it.
He doesn't remember.
You were talking so much.
You were so enthusiastic about this.
I was enthusiastic about that topic, but then you had to keep talking about fucking how bad Wind Waker was.
I didn't think it was. First of all, I never said it was bad. I said it was good.
Yeah,
it's just good, not amazing.
Man, Time Splitters is good.
You think Time Splitters is just good?
Yeah.
You're only saying that because you're offended by my Wind Waker take.
I don't really give a shit about Wind Waker. I'll be honest with you.
No, you do. You like you said Wind Waker's one of your favorite games.
Ocarina of Time is my favorite Legend of Zelda game.
You're bullshitting me. You've never played Ocarina.
I don't have to play a game to like it.
Oh, his true colors have been revealed.
I don't like it.
What do you mean you don't have to play a game to like it? What if there's like horrible inconsistencies and problems with the game?
Alright, Sonic 06 is fucking hilarious.
He's bringing Sonic 06 in.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Sonic 06 had a fan remake that we should play sometime.
Oh, is it good?
Apparently, it faces a lot of the issues that the original had.
That's good. I like that.
And from what the gameplay I saw, it looks like the perfect Sonic game for me. So we'll see.
Well, then you should probably download that.
I'll get on that.
Yeah.
What's your last topic? Do you remember now?
What is your most cringeworthy moment in gaming?
What's my most cringeworthy moment in gaming?
Yes.
In gaming specifically?
Revolving around games, just like, what do you think?
I've done that's personally cringy?
What do you think was a moment that you look back on and you're like, I should not have done that?
In gaming? See, the problem is this would have to, like, emphasize on, like, multiplayer games, like online games, I feel like. Which I've played my fair share of. Why are you looking at me like that?
We have played the fair share of the
You're looking at me like I'm a known cringe lord.
you engaged in some...
What did I engage in that was cringy to you? Explain. I want to know. In terms of gaming.
All I have to do is say 2 words.
Say it.
Breast milk.
That's not cringy. That's just funny.
You see, here's the thing. Funny stuff can be the same thing.
No. It's cringy.
Yeah,
It's cringeworthy for you, not me. Here's the thing. when we were young, I had a friend.
Zach pranked me with Herobrine and made me think that him and his friend were fucking killed and having their souls held hostage. And they fucking I was gullible back then. And
You're still gullible.
Fuck you. and like they said that you need to drink your mother's breast milk.
No, you have to put the context in, otherwise it's not good. Me and a friend of mine really. Shut up! Let me explain.
No, because context is funny from my view.
This is a tiny alien situation. I have to explain it properly.
No, you don't.
I do.
You don't need to. I'm not.
I absolutely do.
I know. I have retard brain.
Okay, you've already explained it from your perspective. Let me explain it from mine.
I wasn't even finished from my perspective.
Well, finish.
I'm finished.
I made you drink breast milk.
Yeah, I didn't. I
attempted to make you drink breast milk.
Yes.
All right, let me continue with my perspective. Now that's wrapped up. Me and a friend used to really like fucking with David because he's kind of gullible.
Yeah.
He still is a little bit, not that much though. Significantly less. We played Minecraft together, and me and a friend of mine hosted a server where. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Me and a friend of mine hosted a server where it was me and him, and we knew commands to make ourselves like invisible. And David didn't know this stuff because he was still kind of new to Minecraft, I think, at that time. So, but he believed in Herobrine.
I was one of them.
So we focused this assault, if you will, around Herobrine.
Yeah.
We basically were like. We were pretending that our souls, we were really young at the time, our souls were sucked into the game and we were dead. Herobrine took our souls. It's the meme that we came up with. And we were fucking with David. We were speaking from Herobrine's perspective. Because we had a way to change our name through a pirated copy of Minecraft. And my friend was speaking through Herobrine's perspective where he was like, the only way you can get your friend's souls back is if you go to your mom and ask if you can drink her breast milk. And David went to his mom and he asked if he could drink her breast milk. He never did it.
I was a homie enough to do that. All right, I was a homie enough to do that. If that tells you anything about what I would actually do if you were in that situation like that, that should tell you.
But no, I think it speaks more to your gullibility because, for fuck's sake, how do you believe that Herobrine was talking to you?
Because kids are gullible as shit.
How young were you at the time? You were in your teens, right? Your early teens?
I was like 13.
13?
Yeah, 13-ish.
Come on, that's old enough to know Herobrine's not real.
Yeah, well, people still believe ghosts are real and they're older than us. So, I mean...
Well,
people still believe Bigfoot is real, so I really don't want to hear it.
I legitimately
that 13
think
is too old for Herobrine. When people think the stupidest shit who are older than us.
I legitimately think Herobrine is worse than Ghost.
All right, well, still, man, people think very stupid crap.
Do you believe in ghosts?
No, I don't.
I don't either, but.
I would like I like that kind of shit, and I want to see if there actually could be, but no, I don't believe.
Ghost hunting stream. Ghost hunting stream.
Ouija board, summon Lucifer. Let's do it.
When are we doing a ghost hunting stream where we go to a random location and we find
like ghosts? An actual abandoned house?
Yes.
Well,
I just can't show my face, but other than that,
we can wear masks, dude.
We can wear masks, balaclavas. I don't think that's
not even balaclava. Well, we could wear balaclavas. People do that. Who do stuff like that. I'm just saying we could wear like funny like monkey masks or something like that.
Funny monkey masks.
Or like the bird. Remember the idea for
the bird and the deer.
The bird and the deer.
Yeah.
Man, I want you to just imagine like the funny reaction of like thinking there's a ghost and you flick your head back of the deer and just run into a wall. It'd be hilarious.
I think ghost hunting would be cool to do on stream. I just have to figure out how to do that as, I guess a VTuber. How would you do that? I'll figure out a way. Maybe.
I mean, you can have non-VTubing streams of VTuber. It doesn't always have to be about the VTubing, you know? I mean, that's most of it, but not all of it.
David's incorporating his streams into real life, into
What
reality.
Streams? What streams?
What?
You got some weed.
I think it's time to end the podcast.
I'm trying to be funny. That's all. I'm trying to play up the humor right now.
You got some weed. I think it's a good point to end. Do you have any other topics you want to talk about?
Yes, I do.
What?
It's more of a question for you.
What's up?
What is your ideal game?
Oh boy, this gets into our favorite game ideas. I've had some ideas for games that I think would be fun.
All right, like what? Pitch me
Recently,
an idea.
I've had an idea of. I thought about an idea with a protagonist
Right.
who, similar to Samus, has an arm cannon, right? But she's not a Metroid like. She doesn't have the armor. She's just got the arm cannon, right?
Yeah.
For some reason, I pictured like Roll from Mega Man. I don't know why, but that's where I'm going with this.
Like a pirate cannon hand.
No, just like a plasma cannon, like Samus, basically.
Okay.
But like Mega Man as well, I guess. But an open world sort of ruin in nature kind of game where you'd run around, you would kill bosses, you would gain levels. There would be different weapons and stuff that you can choose from. It's mostly based on like gun combat. It looks like a clearer vision in my head than what I'm explaining, but you would have like dodge rolls, you would have like a lock-on system. I don't know the story or anything. I haven't thought that far ahead, but I think that would be a cool concept.
I think that's a cool idea for a game.
It's more Nintendo in its theming than I'm putting out to be, but also not.
Well, what other kind of ideas have you had for games?
What other ideas have I had for games?
Yeah.
I've told you about Air Ride,
Yeah.
but Melee.
We've talked about this before.
Think about Air Ride, but you can get off your board and just combo each other into oblivion.
When people
You'd have to add different aspects to the game to make that like aspect of the game relevant,
or what
rather than just being on your board the whole game.
Board.
Combos on the board.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
All right.
Man, that's dumb.
Man, that's dumb, man.
No, I would have to make it. I would want it to interact in a way where getting off your board is just as important as staying on it. But I don't know how you would do that in a game like Kirby Air Ride, because most of the gameplay takes place on your actual board. So that's something I struggle with. So I don't know. What ideas have you had for games, David?
So this is something I still want to do. I just need to get off my ass and do it. I have an idea for a Legend of Zelda game. Open world 2D.
2D, interesting.
I wanted to make an RPG maker, and I wanted to like fuck off of like a turn-based combat, right?
Yeah.
And do like an open world kind of combat system. And I wanted it to kind of like take like the main link, right? Would essentially be the same link from Wind Waker. It would play off.
Oh, this guy loves Wind Waker.
From the same story where Wind Waker.
This guy loves it. He adores Wind Waker.
And
it's in his wet dreams.
Fuck. And like, I remember I wanted to incorporate like so many like aspects of like open world stuff.
You started making it, and I viewed.
Yeah. I didn't get the combat system in, but
I viewed the programming or whatever like you do in RPG. I'm not familiar with RPG Maker, so I don't know. But I was impressed from what I saw because I couldn't do that shit. I wouldn't have the patience for it. So.
There's another one that I put a lot more time in that has turn-based stuff, but I mean, I have ideas for games that I have trouble explaining. But
I feel the same. I feel like the way I explain the games that I have ideas for always sound lamer, but in my head are super cool. Like the Samus one, I have like a very broad or very precise picture of what I would want it to be, but I can't explain it into words really.
Yeah.
I have that issue.
I like a lot of the stories that I've written down. I want to turn into like either films, shows,
what if we
games.
What if we take my gameplay concepts and incorporate them into your stories, and we make a game?
It'd be interesting. It'd be very interesting, and I think that could work. I really do. Once when our shit does take off, right, and I can get some like shit going, right.
Yeah.
I want to like bring the visions that I've had onto like the screen, you know.
Onto the big screen.
Onto the big screen. Like, maybe get signed on for a Netflix original.
Oh, he's thinking big.
I'm thinking real.
He's thinking
big.
Large and in charge.
I'm thinking like very, very.
Hey man,
big.
put your stuff out there.
But I mean,
make
like
some films.
I
stuff.
I don't have Jack right now. I really want that burrito. I'm sorry, my stomach's hurting, and the hunger is starting to rise.
It's up to you to end it, man. Are you ready?
I like talking, and I like doing this.
We'll talk more when we defeat Sans and Undertale, correct?
Are we gonna do Air Ride first then?
Yeah, we'll play Air Ride first.
Because I need to mentally prepare for
Sans the Undertale skeleton.
For Sans the skeleton man.
With that being said, shut up. With that being said, thank you everybody for tuning in to this episode of the podcast. It was a bit more unscripted. We're gonna try and come up with topics before. We had an idea for like this just hypothetical podcast. It didn't end up working out.
Yeah, well, don't worry. I'm gonna think of some stuff for the next one.
We're thinking of doing that in the future though for another podcast. So it's not, the idea isn't dead. It's just not happening this week. We'll see where it goes.
Tomorrow, when you're not doing stuff. I would like you to just try to come up with some hypotheticals.
Oh, he's challenging me, the hypothetical master.
Some of the videos that have been on Showhippies backlog, if you can.
Like what?
What was it? Things like there was a few error videos we did.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll talk to you about this off stream where it's more understandable, or where you can point out things that are actually tangibly there. Because I don't know what you're talking about. But thank you all for tuning in.
Gardevoir doll.
It's not a doll. It's an action figure.
It's an action figure. Yeah, you're at that point.
I'm getting all my team from Arceus up there. I've already been through this.
Yes, I know.
I have Infernape coming.
About to get the monkey.
Monkey time. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
We appreciate it.
You've been great.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna go eat. We're gonna talk for a bit.
Get more alcohol.
I don't know if I can do more alcohol. I might.
We're gonna get more alcohol.
David wants to get more alcohol. He might do that.
We're gonna get more alcohol.
We're gonna eat, and then we're gonna be back in
probably 30
minutes. I don't want to give a specific time. It might be more.
Maybe a little bit more.
We'll see, and we'll be back with Air Ride into defeating Sans. Hopefully, we're gonna spend some time.
We got a few things for Air Ride.
Yeah. We have some gecko codes for Air Rides, but we'll get into that when we start. We're
gonna leave it a surprise.
So thanks. We'll see you guys later. We appreciate it. Next podcast will be in an undetermined time because we don't schedule these things.
Maybe.
Sometime next week, hopefully.
Do you have next Saturday off?
Maybe. We'll see.
All right.
Peace out.
Peace.
Goodbye. Thanks for watching.
Yep. Thanks.